Chapter 15. Nala. Nala swatted at a beetle that buzzed near her ear as she lay at the edge of the grasslands, crouched low. She was trying to be covert here. All she needed was a pesky insect giving away their location. Although Nala was pretty sure there was no one around to alert, all was calm. Still, even though they were back on her pride's lands, she was keeping her eyes open for potential predators. This past day of having to be the grown-up had given her a new appreciation for the security the older lionesses provided. She'd never considered the heavy responsibility those watching out for her felt while she had played around carefree, but she would from now on. "Let's go," Nala whispered to Abena. "Remember, be quiet." After the rain had finally let up, she and Abena had left the shelter of the kopje. They'd come upon a family of gazelles grazing near the mud pit where Abena had got stuck. Once Nala assured them that they were not there to hunt, the mama gazelle shared with her a quicker way to the Pride Lands, one that bypassed the elephant graveyard. She and Abena had begun the trek back to Pride Rock, making it to the grasslands on the outskirts of their kingdom. Just as the sun was beginning to set, now all she had to do was get Abena halfway to the waterhole. Nala trusted that the cub would be okay to travel the rest of the way home, and it would give her time to put some distance between herself and Pride Rock. Even though she had made Abena swear that she would not give away her location or where she was headed, Nala was taking no chances. Now that the sun was inching closer to the horizon, the cluster of bull stars would be out again, ready to lead the way to Simba. It was difficult for Nala to hold in her excitement. When she'd mentioned Garamba to the gazelle, the slim antelope said she and her family had just returned from the Zemongo faunal region and had passed through Garamba. She had assured Nala that she was on the right track, and, even better, that she should be able to reach Garamba in less than 2 days. Knowing she was so close to potentially finding her best friend had renewed her resolve to see this through. She was eager to get back to her journey. But first she had to return Abena home safely. "Come on," Nala said. "Let's get a bit closer." She looked overhead, searching for Zazu. It would be just her luck that the bird would choose to fly around this area just as she and Abena were returning. But thankfully, the coast remained cleared. They didn't encounter Zazu, any of the lionesses from their pride, or any other animal, for that matter. It almost seemed too good to be true. They reached the smallest of the baobab tree that grew near the perimeter of the grasslands, where they met up with the open savanna. The vegetation was sparse here, with far fewer places to take cover. Nala stopped and turned to Abena. "Okay, you have to travel the rest of the way on your own," she said. Panic shot into Abena's eyes, but it was quickly replaced with confidence. She stood up, straight and nodded. "I can do it," she said. Nala begrudgingly admitted to herself that she was going to miss having the cub by her side. Thanks to her mum, she and Abena had more in common than Nala had first thought. Not only did they both resent being treated like babies, but they both hated violent thunderstorms too. What had shocked Nala most about Abena was just how strong-willed she was and smart. She was so smart. It wasn't until she'd taken the time to really listen to the cub that Nala realized just how much their pride underestimated their youngest member. The cub had opened Nala's eyes in multiple ways in the short amount of time since they had taken off together. The brief hunting lesson was the most important thing Nala had learnt, of course, but she'd also learnt how to stand up for herself. Even though Abena was smaller and younger, she had refused to back down when Nala tried to pressure her into following Nala's rules. Nala used to have that kind of confidence in herself, It had taken this brave little cub to remind her that it was still there, lurking inside of her. She just had to believe she could do this. Are you ready? Nala asked. Abena nodded. Now you remember what I said, right? Another nod. I will tell the lionesses that I followed you when you snuck out of the sleeping quarters, but I got lost before I ever made it off the Pride Lands, and then I fell asleep under a jackalberry tree. Good, Nala said. Abena had remembered their story. And don't forget to mention that I am long gone, and you don't remember the direction I was heading, so there is no use in anyone looking for me. Oh, I forgot the part about the rain, Abena said. I'll tell them that the rain came, and I was too afraid to move, which is why it took so long to make it back to Pride Rock. At least that part is true, so it doesn't feel as if I'm telling a tale to my mama, Abena finished. Nala hated to lie as well, but she had no choice. Although what she hated even more than lying was envisioning how worried her mother would be to know that Nala was out here somewhere. On second thought, why don't we stick closer to the truth, Nala said. She started warming up to the idea. Yeah, you could tell them that we did leave the Pride Lands together, but you don't remember how to get back to where we were. However, they shouldn't worry because I am okay. Tell my mother I just wanted to go on an adventure, and I will be back home soon. But whatever you do, do not mention Caramba, Nala said. No one can know that I'm going there. Abena tipped her head to the side. But I don't understand why. You told the gazelle that you were going to Caramba. That was different, Nala said. No one from Pride Rock can know. Promise me, Abena. Do not say the word Caramba. If you do, you will ruin everything. I won't, Abena said. She frowned. Are you sure you will be okay on your own? How will you eat? I don't have to eat for another day at least. And when it's time to find food again, I'll hunt. She playfully bumped Abena with her shoulder. I had a pretty good teacher. Give me some tips. Are you sure you still want to go on your adventure? Abena asked. It was scary out there. What if there is another storm? I'll find shelter, Nala said. Don't worry about me. Okay, she said, and I won't tell anyone where you are going. I promise. She nudged her head against Nala's neck. Be careful out there, Nala. I hope you have a lot of fun on your adventure. She looked up at her and smiled. The next time Ola and Kahina call you a coward, I'm going to tell them they don't know what they're talking about. You're one of the bravest cubs I know. Thanks, Nala said, her chest growing warm at the young cub's praise. I'll be back soon, and I may just bring you a surprise. A good one. A really good one. That was her entire reason for doing this, to bring her pride the best surprise they all could ever hope for. It's time for you to go, Nala nudged her. Go on. Abena nodded, then turned and took off across the grasslands. Nala huddled next to the baobab tree's thick trunk and watched the cub as she traveled across the open plateau. She had decided she would remain here until she could no longer see Abena, and then stay just a bit longer, until the last of the sunlight dipped below the horizons. She calculated that Abena should reach the waterhole around that same time. She could make out the very tip of Pride Rock from where she stood, but Nala pushed back the feelings of melancholy. She would not allow her mission to succumb to homesickness. Sure, she missed her pride, and she would give anything to alleviate the worry she knew her mom would be feeling, but getting word of her safety from Abena would take care of her mother's distress. As for her longing for home, well, she would let thoughts of what the Pride Lands would feel like once Simba returned and took his rightful place as leader of Pride Rock assuage any wistfulness she felt. She took one final look in the direction Abena had gone, then turned and raced towards the bowl-shaped stars, and hopefully towards Simba.